Yes. Hello, everyone, for the third week, first day of the third week, week 3, day 1. So last week we had a very intensive class, and I like it. That week I liked the class a lot because it was talking about what last week?
I forgot the name of it. Bloom?
Yes, Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy. Yes, excellent. Yes, we were talking about Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, so why we have Bloom's taxonomy? What's the use? Why we use it?
Because it was just the way of thinking. We have to understand the student's way of thinking. So it gives you the first step, the second step, the third step, and how to be creative, how to work on the mentality of the student and their creativity in order to achieve the most important things from them. I think.
Excellent. It was talking about the levels of thinking, okay, starting from the base, which was, what was the base? The first level.
I didn't write them, Wallah.
We have.
I think understanding, I think.
Yes, understanding. No, understanding.
Level 2.
Was the next
level. 2. Yeah.
Remembering, yes, remembering. Number 1. Yes. Intisar, please keep your microphone on. We need discussion. We need to make discussion. Ayat and Iman as well. Don't turn off your microphones. We need to make like a discussion. So in order to elicit some information and brainstorm.
But there is a lot of sound behind my home.
No,
workers are working, I think. Worker here. I working.
No. We don't hear anything. We hear only your voice, actually.
Okay.
So the background isn't that clear. Okay. So Iman, please also turn on your microphone. We need to make it as a discussion, dear.
Okay.
Okay, dear. So last week we were talking about Bloom's taxonomy, and it has 6 levels of thinking. The lower levels of thinking and the higher levels of thinking. The first one was remembering. Okay. The second
one, understanding.
Excellent.
Applying.
What about the third one? Intisar, mashallah. Yes. Applying. Yes, excellent. Analyzing. Yes, excellent. Next.
Evaluating. She said evaluating and creating, then the last one.
Evaluating, and the last one is creating, or creativity, or the creative level of thinking, which is the highest level of thinking. Okay, now, to remind you, we use Bloom's taxonomy, or the outcomes of Bloom's taxonomy are as the following. First, upgrade or improve students' skills. But actually, now we are applying this in the educational system. But I refuse to concise it or putting it into borders of only education. Because when you are bringing up your kids, when you want to go and have an interview, when you want to upgrade or improve your working capacity or level or energy, okay? When you want to improve anything related to your thinking skills, okay, you need to understand Bloom's taxonomy. So first, improve skills. This is the first outcome of Bloom's taxonomy, okay? The second one, improve understanding. Okay, when we know how do others, we don't want exactly to say students, okay? Let's say others, when we know how others think, how they think, what are the levels of thinking, how we can articulate our words in order to convey the message, okay? So this is number 2, to improve understanding. Number 3 now, this is related to the educational system directly, okay? So the first and second one, we are talking generally speaking, to improve skills for us or for others. Second, to improve understanding. So this is for daily life, for everyone. Okay, now the third one, it's related to students, okay? To improve the attainment. So, do you know what we mean by attainment? The attainment
like use predict,
sorry?
like use predict and like verbs, use predict, like that.
No. The attainment is like by the end of the year, what is the credits? What are the information now they know? Okay, for example, in the English class, maybe you will mention 10 information, 10. And every day you mention 10, and every day you make practice and practice and practice and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the academic year, we have the attainment. This is how much information or the piece of information they do have into their minds. Okay, so they don't have into their minds all of the information. No, some of them are like dropping out, or they forgot, or something like this. Okay, I will say it in Arabic, like التحصيل الدراسي. Okay, I know this is something not that easy. So this is what we mean by attainment. At the end of the year, what is the capacity? What is the amount of information they do have? Okay, so they didn't get the whole information that you used to teach. This is number 3. So upgrade or improve the attainment. Number 4, and this is the last one, is to improve or increase now, increase participation inside the classroom. Okay, so when you understand Bloom's taxonomy and try to use it, you will create, or you will include into your lesson plan proper kinds of activities. So your students are going to be encouraged, okay, to participate with you inside the classroom. Okay, so these are the 4 things that why we use Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, now, do you have any questions till now? Because we need to continue.
No.
Okay, okay, fine. Now, last week there was one slide, or not slide, one activity we didn't cover because we were out of time. Okay, so we need to cover it today, and it was about what? It was about Goldilocks and the 3 bears. So I don't want to repeat, because I don't want to waste time. I don't want to repeat the video of Goldilocks, but it was about a girl who found what? Who would like to just remind us? There was a girl with Goldilocks.
She
Yes.
flowing. Her smells.
Yes, she was blonde. Okay. So tell me the first event. What happened?
At first, when she was talking, she smells something delicious, and she flows it. She opened the door and entered the house. She found three washes. She tried to test the one washes, but she's very hot, cold, and she tries this next wash. She is very hot. She try in the small washes. She find it is very tastes, very delicious. And then I think she want to sit in the three chair. One chair very big, and the next second chair is no, not exactly. I think the third chair is broken. Was broken.
Yes, the third one was
she
small.
last, yeah, she last things she tries to sleep in one bed very big, I think. Next bed very small, and the last chair is the suitable for her. Then the bears coming and she say, "Oh, what happened? Someone entered to my house, to our house, and eating our delicious food." And then she found her chairs is broken, and when somebody's slept in this bed, and at last she ran away. She ran away. I think that's as I remember.
Excellent. This was the story of Goldilocks in brief. Thank you so much, Intisar. And let's start our class right now. So let's go to the, wait a moment, the PDF. So here, wait, yes. Here, before we start our activity, this catalog, this somehow it's like catalog, let's call it catalog or a worksheet or whatever. Okay, handout. We call it usually in the language of TEFL. We call the worksheet. We call it handout. So for this handout, I would like you, Iman. Hi, Iman.
Hi.
Okay, would you please read the highlighted lines?
Okay. Bloom's taxonomy assists the students recognizing what particular level of complex thinking is required in order to fully answer any given question in any learning situation and or engage in any prescribed activity in any learning situation. To keep it simple, our example is based on the story of Goldilocks and the three bears.
Yes, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. So Bloom's taxonomy assists the student. Here, assist means that helps, of course, in recognizing what particular level of complex thinking is required. So level of thinking, recognizing what particular level of complex thinking is required in order to fully answer any given question in any learning situation. Okay, so they can answer any to fully answer any given question in any learning situation and or engage in any prescribed activity in any learning situation. Okay, so this is here the essential words. So here Bloom's taxonomy help, assess means help students to fully answer any given question in any learning situation. So this is the most important sentence here, okay? This is the most important sentence regarding Bloom's taxonomy, to fully answer any given question in any learning situation. So let's see here. Now we have like an activity. We have 6 questions, okay? What is required from you is to, you need to first read the questions, okay? Number 1, read the questions, okay? Number 2, match. What do you need to match? Which question related to which level of thinking? So, which one is related to understanding? Which one is related to applying? Which one is related to creativity? Which one is related to remembering? So, is it easy or difficult?
We will try.
Okay, but did you understand that
Yes.
what's required from you? First, read.
Yes.
Second, match between each question and which level of thinking related to Bloom's taxonomy. Okay? So I will give you 5 minutes. Fine?
Fine.
Okay. Ayat, is it okay?
Yeah.
Intisar?
Yes, but where is the list of matching? Like
No,
A,
By remembering, understanding, you give it.
I can't see anything here.
No, you
Start
have the question.
remembering,
The
you
most
said
important
them.
thing. The list, you remember the levels of thinking of Bloom's taxonomy. So
Yeah.
which question is related to understanding? Which question is related to remembering? Which question related to evaluating? Okay?
Okay.
Iman, is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. You have 5 minutes. I will set the alarm.
معاذ معاذ
Time is out. Are you ready? Who's ready? Okay, so are you ready, Ayat?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, Intisar?
Yes. Yes, I'm
Okay.
ready.
Okay. So, Iman, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, dear. Welcome, Shaza. You've just maybe joined us. So, let's see. Type it, please. Okay, don't type it. No, I don't want to waste time. Let's see. So what about number one? What do you think? Make a list of all the events in the story that indicate it's it's not true. So which one's this?
Remembering.
Let's see. So
No.
question one is remembering. Okay. What about question two?
This is understanding, I think.
I think it is analyzing.
I would go for understanding as well.
Okay, let's see, understanding. Okay, what about number three?
This is
Creating.
analyzing.
No, I think it's creating.
Yes.
Evaluating.
Yeah, and it's maybe thinking and creating.
Because it's submission. What if the gold look had come home and 3 bears were sleeping?
Okay,
I think
so
I wrote it evaluating bilmiyorum. Bilmiyorum. I don't know if it's true or not.
Like hypothesis. Number
okay,
3.
let's see. Okay, so what about number four?
Applying.
Applying.
Applying. Okay, let's see. Question four, applying. Question five.
Creating.
Evaluating, I think.
Okay, and number six.
Understanding, I think.
Understand.
You
We
said
said understanding.
so. What do you think?
Maybe remembering, because she asked who bed was gold lock in when the bears found her. It's not
It's-
analyzing her.
It's remembering because we used understanding anyway.
Okay, but you've said that Ayat, question number one is remembering.
Question number two, we said, and no, remember, I didn't say no. I have something else.
Okay, so
No.
let's
I think
see.
number 6, remembering.
Opinions.
Okay, let's check the correct answer. So this is the correct answer. Okay. So number one is the level 4, which is now I'm going to justify and clarify and explain why it is the answers is like this. Now here, okay.
Analyzing.
Okay. So
Number
let's get
two,
back.
analyze.
So if you would like, you can take a photo for the answers, or if you would like, you can just write them down until we start explaining them, or wait for the recording of this video. Now let's get back to the questions. Yeah. Okay. So make a list of all the events in the story. Until now, make a list. It is remembering, okay? Remembering or understanding. You can say maybe you can be fluctuating between remembering and understanding. We can discuss this later on, but actually it is what? Analyzing. What it is, why it is analyzing? Because it is
applying that. I'm sorry, they said it's number 4. It's not applying.
No,
This is
4 is
a-
analyzing.
4 is analyzing.
Hmm.
Okay. For analyzing, why it's analyzing? Because of this highlighted sentence or phrase. It is not true. That indicates it's not true. So here you need to analyze which one is true and which one of the list of the events is not true. Okay?
Yes, exactly.
So that's why we said it's analyzing. So don't read only the beginning of the question. So when he said, when the writer or when the author of this note or of this booklet, yani, let's say booklet, okay, when the author of this booklet created those questions, he started with make a list. Okay, make a list. It is remembering. You remember and make a list of events. Fine, fine. But when he continued saying that indicate, it's not true, so it's not only remembering or understanding. You need to analyze. Okay? Okay. 2. The answer was correct. I guess who answered this correctly were Ayat and Hawa. It was correct. I'm not sure. Who said understanding?
I did. Me and Hawa, yes.
So here, yes, this is true understanding why were the bears upset. So they were upset. We understand. We don't need to analyze anything. They are upset because of this. This is understanding. So why it is very simple? Because the student can only see the picture, okay, the picture of their faces and understand directly why they are upset. So it's very easy and very simple level of thinking. Let's say the third one. What if, yes, as mashallah, Intisar, it's the creativity, creative, yes. What if? Why, Intisar? You need to tell us.
Number 3?
Yes. 3,
what,
yes.
Because she said, what if Gold Lake had come home and there is, as I said, it's like hypothesis. If there is any hypothesis in the question, it's need to be creating our thoughts.
Allah. Thank you so much. Okay, yes.
Thank you.
Like unreal situation or a hypothesis. Okay. 4, using the information from the story, draw a sketch of the bear's house. So it is applying. You.
This is applying.
This is applying. You said
This is
yes.
applying.
Almost of you said it's applying. Yes, they watch, they understand, and after that they apply on the papers. Okay. Now here,
Number 4 is applying.
5 here. So it is like
I thought this one is
evaluating.
creating.
Here, please, Hawa, you need to pay attention to the use of verbs. The use of verbs. Decide whether she is guilty or not and justify your decision. Okay? So here, these 2 verbs show you that this is evaluating. You are evaluating the situation. And the last one is remembering whose bed was Goldilocks in when the bears found her. Okay, so we have another one, almost the same like this, and it is talking about Goldilocks. And I want you now, I want your results to be like almost near the correct answer. Okay. And close, very close to the correct answer. Now let's see these the questions. Okay. Also, these 6 questions. Match. Okay, because Shaza wasn't here. Okay, now Shaza, please join them. Hi, Shaza.
Hello.
Okay, dear. This is the same as the previous activity. You need to read the questions and match between the question and the Bloom's taxonomy's level. Okay, so which questions related to which level? I will give you another 5 minutes.
Okay.
Time is up. Okay. I will give you 1 minute, one more minute. I can see that you're still engaged. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, Iman, let's start with you, Iman. Question number 1.
I think it is understanding.
Okay, understanding, you mean the second level. Okay, so what about second question? Who would like to answer?
Creating.
Creating.
Creating, okay, so it's 6. Okay, what about the third one?
Analyzing.
Analyzing means level 4. Okay, let's wait, Iman, wait. I want to ask your friends. Shazam, do you have any other answers? Do you have answers?
I am confused between analyzing and remembering.
Number 4. Okay, since she said analyzing, so let's say it's okay, let's say it's
Not analyzing.
okay, so
Maybe evaluating.
let's take remembering. Okay, yes. Okay, Shazam. What about number 5?
5. Applying.
Remembering, I think.
Okay, what about
Yeah.
4? 4 remembering.
Number one, understanding, because it's say retell the events on your words.
Intisar, wait, give me 1 minute. I want number 4. So Shazza said it is remembering, okay? So what about number 5?
Number 5, maybe remembering.
Does anyone have another answer?
I would say understanding. I know they used it before, yes, but for me, number 5 is understanding. They used it in other questions, but
Understanding, okay. Okay, let's say number 6.
evaluating.
Evaluating, okay.
Maybe
5.
analyzing, teacher. Maybe number 6, analyzing.
Let's see. So we have the answer keys are over here. Okay. So question number 1, the correct answer, yes, excellent, Iman. It was 2, level 2, yes, correct. Also, question number 2, excellent. Haha, mashallah, your levels are now upgrading. So yes, excellent. Number 2, it is 6, creating. Number 3, yes, excellent. It was 4, analyzing. Number 4, excellent. It was wow. I love the answers. Okay, excellent. Number 4, so Shiza also answered number 4. It was 1, remembering. And number 5, it was applying. Okay, number 5, it was applying. And number 6 was evaluating. Hey, let's celebrate. Okay, so how many answers of those were correct, generally speaking? So yeah, Ayat, how many answers of those were correct?
For me, 2.
2 were correct? Oh my God. I will explain now why there are such answers. Okay, Intisar, how many of those were correct?
Just 3.
3, okay. Hawa, how many answers of those were correct? Hawa left? Hawa, your microphone is off.
Okay, I said 4 of them right, 2 of them I mix of them. I mix between understanding and remembering.
Excellent.
And creating correct, analyzing correct, applying by evaluating correct. Strategy, remember, understanding about them, vice versa.
Excellent. Okay, Shaza, how many of those were correct?
For me, I have only 3 correct answers, like the half of them.
No problem. Yeah. Iman, how many of those were correct?
4 answers are correct.
Yes, excellent. 4 answers were correct, and thank you so much. So let me just justify and tell you why. Let's get back. Here. Retell the story. Okay, now you are, no, wait. The trick here, it's in your own words. In your own words mean your understanding, okay? If, look, if they said retell the events of the story only, so it's remembering, yes, understand, oh my God, remembering, okay? But because they mentioned in your own words, it is like a synonym, or like in other words of upon your understanding. Okay? So this is number 1. Number 2, suppose, this is clear that it's creating. Yeah, suppose. It's like hypothesis, as Intisar said.
Something creating, yes.
Yes. Now, number 3, how was Goldilocks' experience different from that of Little Red Riding Hood? So it is analyzing, okay? So you are comparing, so you need to analyze this story and analyze this story. Now you can tell how it's different, okay? So here we have analyzing. So we have 2 different stories. So we need to analyze each story and talk about the experience, okay, of each story. So here we need to analyze that. For example, the characters, who were the characters, who were the good characters, the bad characters. And for example, in the Goldilocks, we don't have bad characters, but with the Little Red Riding Hood, we do have bad characters, which is the wolf. So we need here to analyze in order to compare between 2 stories. Okay, number 4, it's clear, list the characters in the story. So here we have list the characters in the story, okay? But last one, the previous one, it was list the events and whether it was
not true. It was not true.
Yes. So that way you need to understand and upgrade your level of thinking. But here only listing, so it's only remembering.
I think we have to go over the verbs. Which one goes to which one? This is.
And I sent you last week a PDF, okay, which explains the importance of usage of verbs. The whole construction of Bloom's taxonomy depends on verbs. Maybe you can find the same verb, but in different level of thinking. For example, like here, list We do have list in remembering, and we do have list in understanding, for example. It depends on the rest of the prompt, okay? The rest of the sentence. Now, number 5, it was applying. So retell the story from the point of view of breaking and entering. So you are retelling the story from a point of view. Now here, remember, if you say, for example, retell only, retell here. Look here, we have retell here. Here, the verb retell, okay, it contains the meaning of understanding, okay? But here, retell, it contains the meaning of applying. So it depends on the sentence, on the rest of the sentence, okay? Now, whenever we see judge, so it is evaluating, and I guess evaluating and creating, those are very clear. Usually they are clear with their verbs. So now when we get down here in this file, okay, they explain also, they extend to explain how Bloom's taxonomy is important in work, in sales, for example, in data set, in the bank here, wait, income and expenditure and bank statement. So how it is important in the field of banking here, budgeting, okay. Also here in ancient, for example, here in history, you can use it, okay, not only in English. Also here in examination on acids and bases. Here it's related to chemistry, okay? This is acids and bases. This is related to the subject of chemistry. What else? So here also in sporting Bloom's taxonomy. Yes, the sports here. So it shows that it is extremely important in many fields of life, actually. So this is now the end of last week's class. Now let's start with today's with this week's class. But we had to explain that week's because it's now we will build upon what we do already. I couldn't skip it, so I was thinking, so I can skip this portion of the class, but no, we cannot because it's really very important. Okay, so let's see. Okay. So welcome to week 3 now. Welcome to week 3. And here I just usually at the beginning of the week, of the class, I ask you how was your week, as we are now in the weekend, the beginning of the weekend. So
it was very busy for me.
It was like this. For me, it was like it's the same like the picture. Okay.
Exactly the same, Allah.
We're almost surviving. Okay, so here, let's start from here. So this week, which means today and tomorrow, yes, this week we are going to talk about these things. Now, at the beginning, these are objectives, okay? These are objectives of this, not session, this week, let's say, not session, week. Okay. I want you to read those. This is the step 1. Read them. And after that, after you read them, I want you to switch those sentences into questions, okay? Switch. For example, I will give you an example. learn about the language skills. So you need to say, what are the language skills? So the answer should be, for example, learning about the language skills. Okay, so now we are going to talk about language skills. So what are the language skills? So do this with all of the rest of the sentences. Change them into questions. Okay? Okay, so who's ready? Okay, so who's ready? It's easier than Bloom's taxonomy's question.
Can I go for the first one?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so we have learned about the language skills. That's going to be the answer. The question is going to go for what are we going to learn about?
Okay.
This is right.
Yes. Okay, this is general question. When you ask what we're gonna learn about, so the answer, the whole sentences could be the answer.
But we have understand and apply in there and use. The first two we have learned.
Okay, we will. Okay, so we can't. This is a very general question. Okay, no worries. So what about the third one? Who'd like to answer?
You can say what's list something about the importance of teaching methods for understanding. Not a good question.
Maybe
Okay.
it's mean language skills. It's mean reading, listening.
Yeah.
Okay, Intisar, I don't want you to answer. I want these
Make a question.
sentences to be the answer. I want these sentences to be the answers. I don't want you to answer. I will answer. Don't worry.
I think, can I go? Sorry.
Okay, Shazad, do you have any answer?
Can I go?
Actually, no, because I didn't understand very well.
Dear, okay, why didn't you ask me? You didn't understand. Okay, raise your hand and ask me. Without raising hand, just go ahead and say, I don't understand. I was telling you that these are the answers. Suppose these are the answers. Create the questions for these answers.
Okay.
Dear, you are teachers, okay? Please, you need to practice on these things. If you don't practice on these things, you cannot write objectives for your lesson plan. Fine. So maybe you can write objectives, but not skillfully, okay? I want to train you on writing excellent objectives. Anybody can write objectives, but I want you to write objectives skillfully, please. Iman, do you have any answer?
No, I was not in the class. I have
Okay,
a
no
course.
worries. Okay. Why I am asking you to do so? Why? To tell you something. To tell you that the objectives, when you create objectives for your students, okay, you need to set or to put questions. What do students need from this class? Okay, what do they need from this class? They need, for example, like you, my students need to know what are the language skills. So the answer is you will learn about the language skills, and I'm going now to talk about language skills and systems. Okay? You need to ask yourself, what do my students need from this class? Why they pay for me money? Why? To come to me, to learn. Okay, now I am in week 3, day 1. I put on my mind, what do they want to learn? Why they are here? Why all of you are on the Zoom? Why? Because I will say to myself, what are the language systems? Okay? Okay. Now let's see.
I think the second one, I'm sorry, we can say how will the learners understand the importance of teaching language skills and its system?
It can be, yes. However, in this activity, there is no correct and wrong answer.
Yes, you can ask many questions.
Only brainstorming your skill as a teacher. I just want to brainstorm your skill as a teacher. What do my students want to be an excellent teacher? You need to create questions, and your work will be the answer. These are somehow like suggested questions. Okay, let's start from the third one. Can we teach language skills without teaching language systems? Why? Why not? So my class today is going to be the answer of this question. This is an example. For example, next, should we integrate the receptive skills and the productive skills in teaching? How? Why? So the answer of these questions are going to be the objectives. You are going to build up on all of these things, but you need to start with writing questions, and the answers are going to be your objectives, and after that you are going to build all your lesson plan upon the answer of these questions. Okay, now next here, first we need to learn what are the language systems. I usually like to start with language systems rather than with language skills, because language skills are extremely easy. Language skills are very easy, but language systems are not that easy. Okay, so language system, we don't teach language system, we teach language systems only in university. If you study English literature or ELT or whatever. Okay, so you need to learn these things. So here, language is made up of systems and skills. Okay. The four systems, not four, the systems of, because the systems of language are orthography, syntax, phonology, discourse, semantics, and morphology. Okay. So here we have 6 language skills. Fine. Okay. Let's learn what are these. What is the difference between them? Okay. Let's see. Example. The IELTS language proficiency exams explicitly test, the 4 skills and also 2 systems. So that's why it is important. When you go to IELTS, or let's say TOEFL, because here in Turkey they don't know IELTS, you know only TOEFL, okay? When you go for IELTS or TOEFL, they exam, okay, upon what they do the examination or the test of TOEFL and IELTS? Upon the 4 skills and the grammar and vocabulary, which are the systems. Of course, the grammar is syntax and vocabulary is morphology. Okay? So this is really very important. Okay. In the classroom, although most modern methodologies and approaches focus on communication, this is the same of this course. Okay? I will explain now everything, but because in the language of teachers is different from the street language, the normal language. In normal language, we say communication. In teacher's language, we say discourse. Or we have another word, you need to know it. We call it pragmatics. Okay? This is the same. So we have discourse and pragmatics, the same meaning of communication, and make little reference to systems. Many course books still have a structure based on the systems and skills mentioned above. Discourse itself normally not identified separately, but included in skills areas. Now I will explain. Before I explain, you have a task. Okay, here. What is this task? The task says you will watch a YouTube. Okay, you now are going to watch a YouTube video. Fine. Number 1, watch. Okay, okay. 2, you will understand the video. This is 2. 3, I will give each of you one language system to write about. Now, okay, you will write according to the video. So you will watch a video and I will tell you to write about language systems. I will choose for you one, only one. Okay? you will write about it. If you want to only depend on watching the video and take information and just explain to us, to your friends, okay, it will be okay. If you want to go to Google and search and see, and after that give us more examples, I will give you time, enough time, okay, maybe 15 minutes. I will give you 15 minutes. You will explain this because why I use this technique, okay? We call this technique jigsaw, okay? We call this technique jigsaw. Jigsaw means that each one of the group go and make research, okay? And get back with some information. Fine? So you will watch YouTube, you will understand the content of the YouTube. I will give you one language system. I already choose it for you, okay? I choose this for Shaza, this for Hawa, this for Ayat, and etc. Okay? I will choose it for you. You need to write about it, okay? Number one, let's watch the YouTube, and after that I will tell you which one of you will take because after 5 minutes we will take a break, okay? So we will watch the YouTube. After the break I will tell you your tasks, okay? So let's watch.
معاذ لازم تروح.
Okay, so this is the YouTube. Okay, 1 minute. Tell me, can you hear?
Hello and welcome to CAP number 1, Language System.
Can you hear?
Yes,
Yeah.
teacher.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can hear.
so now watch this. After that, we will continue. You will take your task, okay? But you need to understand it very well. Fine? Oh my God. Okay.
Systems. The first big idea for this first topic is that understanding how language works is essential to being able to teach reading and other literacy skills. The second big idea for this topic is that language, any language really, but in this case we're referring to English, is made up of systems. In this CAP, we will identify and define those systems and see how they work together to influence a person's literacy skills. Here's a graphic organizer for the systems of language and how they relate to literacy. The 6 circles on the ends of each spoke are the systems that make up English, as well as other languages. By the end of this video, you should be able to complete this graphic organizer with definitions for each system. Before we define those systems, let's define a couple of other important key terms first: expressive language and receptive language. Expressive language is how a message or idea is put together and then presented or expressed by the speaker. By that definition, you would think of spoken or written language as expressive language, but this also includes signed languages, pictures, symbols, and pictographs. Receptive language is how that message or idea is understood by someone other than the speaker. Receptive language skills are important in being able to decode and comprehend what's being expressed. Before you can read and comprehend written words and write meaningful text on a page, your oral, expressive, and receptive language skills are the key to communicating what you want and need. Now, let's take a look at each of those systems that make up language. Phonology is the sounds that are used to express language. This includes alphabetic sounds, or the sounds that each letter of the alphabet makes, which are called phonemes. Prosody and articulation are also components of phonology. These are not speech or alphabetic sounds particularly, but instead they have to do with intonation, pitch, and stressed and unstressed syllables. You'll see these terms again when you get to oral reading fluency. Morphology is breaking words apart in order to study the structures that create the word's meaning. Those pieces of words are called morphemes. Morphemes are word parts that are the smallest unit of meaning. Note that this is different from phonemes. Those have to do with units of sound. Morphemes are units of meaning. There are free morphemes and bound morphemes. Free morphemes can stand alone. Sometimes we call free morphemes base words or root words. Bound morphemes can't stand alone. Sometimes we call those affixes, which would include prefixes and suffixes. Here are some examples of free and bound morphemes. Let's go through an example of how to break down a word morphologically. This is also called morphemic analysis. This is an important skill in developing and expanding vocabulary later on. Let's look at the word thesis. The word thesis by itself is a free morpheme. It can't be broken down into any more individual meaningful parts. The word means a statement to be proved. So if we add a bound morpheme, hypo, to thesis, we get the new word hypothesis, which has a different meaning now that we've added that bound morpheme to it. Notice how the separate meanings of those two morphemes in this word come together to make the meaning of the new word hypothesis. Now let's add another bound morpheme, this time to the end of the word. This one, IZE or eyes, is another bound morpheme. In this case, we're turning the noun hypothesis into a verb hypothesize. Once again, we've also changed the meaning of the new word by adding this new morpheme to it. Semantics is the system that connects background or previously learned knowledge to what you are currently reading or listening to in order to construct new knowledge. Semantics can apply to the meaning of words or the meaning of full sentences. You may have heard of schemas or schema theory. A schema is another term for previously learned knowledge or concepts that you use as a foundation for understanding new knowledge or concepts. Lots of recent research has shown that readers' control and use of semantics or these schema is key for comprehending what they read. Orthography is defined as the system of writing, but it really consists of what's called graphemes, which are usually letters of the alphabet. Really, letters and combinations of letters are symbols that represent a unique phoneme or speech sound. So writing has to do with connecting the speech sound to the letter. Connecting phonemes to graphemes is one of the most important milestones in literacy development in younger children. Any of the 26 letters of the English alphabet, and sometimes combinations of letters, are considered graphemes. With phonemes, though, the key thing to remember is that a phoneme is capable of changing the word completely, not just the meaning, changing the whole word, if it is removed or changed. Let's try an example of this. Take a look at the word wake. If you change any of those phonemes, you'll get a different word with a different meaning, or you'll get a nonsense but still pronounceable word. So if you change the first consonant phoneme to sn, you get snake. If you change the first vowel sound in the word wake to o, you get the word woke. Your ability to notice and understand these changes as they're happening and to understand the new words that could be formed by removing, adding, or changing those phonemes is called phonemic awareness. And we'll cover that a lot more in later videos. Next up is syntax. Syntax, like morphology, has to do with structures, but instead of looking at the structure of individual words, syntax is how words are combined into larger language structures like phrases and sentences. Syntax is what determines grammar, or the rules of word order and sentence structure. This is important because these rules and structures help readers and listeners comprehend effectively, efficiently, and accurately. Here are some examples of why understanding syntax is important to comprehension and effective communication skills. Because there are those rules that govern word order in English, this first sentence doesn't make much sense and is not easily understood. But the second sentence, with the exact same words in a different order, one that follows standard English grammar and syntax, does make sense. We can also rearrange the sentence again, and then this time, thanks to punctuation, the sentence can still make sense. The last component of oral language structure is pragmatics. Pragmatics is how language is used in order to communicate, understand, address, and satisfy needs. In other words, pragmatics has to do with the social function of language. This sounds like an advanced literacy skill, but if you think about it, even babies and toddlers understand how to use language of some kind to communicate their needs. This table breaks down the various pragmatics or social functions of language. You can explore more about these on your own. There are a whole coursework you can do. There's a whole field of study on social functions of language, but the main thing to know at this point is that pragmatics is what children learn when they realize that they can get needs met through language. Now, to bring all of this together and look at it chronologically, here's another graphic that shows the timeline of how we acquire and master a first or native language. And this process looks a little bit different when we're talking about learning a second or even third language. Some of the systems we've learned about so far are part of very early oral language development, which are shown on the left-hand side. Early speech, vocabulary starts building and begins to grow, some phonology and phonological awareness develops, and eventually there's some understanding of basic syntax. Next, the child moves into early stages of developing the literacy skills that will lead to reading, and then the key skills that children develop in these stages rely on the foundations built from their oral language development. This expansion of skills continues to grow as literacy development becomes more advanced or adult-like. How might any significant weaknesses or gaps anywhere in this progression affect a child's later literacy development?
So, how was the video?
Great, but if it's again, it's more great.
It will be greater. Okay. After the break, we will go for a break right now. 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay. After the break, we will watch it again and we will work together to know all the answers. Okay. Bye. See you after the break.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hello, teacher.
Hi, Intisar. How are you?
Fine.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Hawa. How are you?
Thank you.
Okay, what about the others? Anybody here? Okay, let's start because we have an overwhelming class today. So now let's check the PowerPoint here. Okay, these are your names. And unfortunately, not all of you are attending with us today. So Ayat will take pragmatics. Please, Ayat, write down the word pragmatics.
I already have everything.
Sorry?
I already have everything written in here.
Okay, no worries. But I want you to explain it in
My word.
to your friends as if you are a teacher now. You have to explain what do we mean by pragmatics. Okay, give some examples and these things. Hawa will take morphology. Intisar will take orthography. Orthography is very easy, actually. Iman, hi Iman.
Hi.
Hi dear. Okay, you'll take phonology. Shaza, hi Shaza. Shaza. Where's Shaza? Okay. Hi Shaza. Okay, no worries. Shaza will take syntax. Suppose that Adham is here, he would take semantics, and Nuha would take summary. So I'll talk about semantics and summary at the end, but these are your tasks. So we will watch the video again. Shaza, are you here now? Okay. So we will watch the video again, and after that, as I told you, I'm going to give you about 10 minutes only, no more than 10 minutes. I guess it's enough or less when you finish, because I will wait here. I will stay here waiting for you. So when you finish, just inform me. We will start immediately. So you will watch, as I told you here. You will watch, understand, write about your language system. Okay, so because I allocated for each of you one language system and explain it to your friends. Okay, don't forget to write definitions, explain, and give examples. Okay, teachers, because you are teachers. Okay, you need to give examples. So let's watch again. If you would like, you can draw a table. If you would like, you can do whatever you like, okay? So let's see again. I will give you 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, or before 10 minutes, when you are ready, if you're ready, just tell me and we are going to start.
Now let's review what we covered in this video. Systems. The first big idea for this first topic is that understanding how language works is essential to being able to teach reading and other literacy skills. The second big idea for this topic is that language, any language really, but in this case we're referring to English, is made up of systems. In this CAP, we will identify and define those systems and see how they work together to influence a person's literacy skills. Here's a graphic organizer for the systems of language and how they relate to literacy. The 6 circles on the ends of each spoke are the systems that make up English, as well as other languages. By the end of this video, you should be able to complete this graphic organizer with definitions for each system. Before we define those systems, let's define a couple of other important key terms first: expressive language and receptive language. Expressive language is how a message or idea is put together and then presented or expressed by the speaker. By that definition, you would think of spoken or written language as expressive language, but this also includes signed languages, pictures, symbols, and pictographs. Receptive language is how that message or idea is understood by someone other than the speaker. Receptive language skills are important in being able to decode and comprehend what's being expressed. Before you can read and comprehend written words and write meaningful text on a page, your oral, expressive, and receptive language skills are the key to communicating what you want and need. Now, let's take a look at each of those systems that make up language. Phonology is the sounds that are used to express language. This includes alphabetic sounds, or the sounds that each letter of the alphabet makes, which are called phonemes. Prosody and articulation are also components of phonology. These are not speech or alphabetic sounds particularly, but instead they have to do with intonation, pitch, and stressed and unstressed syllables. You'll see these terms again when you get to oral reading fluency. Morphology is breaking words apart in order to study the structures that create the word's meaning. Those pieces of words are called morphemes. Morphemes are word parts that are the smallest unit of meaning. Note that this is different from phonemes. Those have to do with units of sound. Morphemes are units of meaning. There are free morphemes and bound morphemes. Free morphemes can stand alone. Sometimes we call free morphemes base words or root words. Bound morphemes can't stand alone. Sometimes we call those affixes, which would include prefixes and suffixes. Here are some examples of free and bound morphemes. Let's go through an example of how to break down a word morphologically. This is also called morphemic analysis. This is an important skill in developing and expanding vocabulary later on. Let's look at the word thesis. The word thesis by itself is a free morpheme. It can't be broken down into any more individual meaningful parts. The word means a statement to be proved. So if we add a bound morpheme, hypo, to thesis, we get the new word hypothesis, which has a different meaning now that we've added that bound morpheme to it. Notice how the separate meanings of those two morphemes in this word come together to make the meaning of the new word hypothesis. Now let's add another bound morpheme, this time to the end of the word. This one, IZE or eyes, is another bound morpheme. In this case, we're turning the noun hypothesis into a verb hypothesize. Once again, we've also changed the meaning of the new word by adding this new morpheme to it. Semantics is the system that connects background or previously learned knowledge to what you are currently reading or listening to in order to construct new knowledge. Semantics can apply to the meaning of words or the meaning of full sentences. You may have heard of schemas or schema theory. A schema is another term for previously learned knowledge or concepts that you use as a foundation for understanding new knowledge or concepts. Lots of recent research has shown that readers' control and use of semantics or these schema is key for comprehending what they read. Orthography is defined as the system of writing, but it really consists of what's called graphemes, which are usually letters of the alphabet. Really, letters and combinations of letters are symbols that represent a unique phoneme or speech sound. So writing has to do with connecting the speech sound to the letter. Connecting phonemes to graphemes is one of the most important milestones in literacy development in younger children. Any of the 26 letters of the English alphabet, and sometimes combinations of letters, are considered graphemes. With phonemes, though, the key thing to remember is that a phoneme is capable of changing the word completely, not just the meaning, changing the whole word, if it is removed or changed. Let's try an example of this. Take a look at the word wake. If you change any of those phonemes, you'll get a different word with a different meaning, or you'll get a nonsense but still pronounceable word. So if you change the first consonant phoneme to sn, you get snake. If you change the first vowel sound in the word wake to o, you get the word woke. Your ability to notice and understand these changes as they're happening and to understand the new words that could be formed by removing, adding, or changing those phonemes is called phonemic awareness. And we'll cover that a lot more in later videos. Next up is syntax. Syntax, like morphology, has to do with structures, but instead of looking at the structure of individual words, syntax is how words are combined into larger language structures like phrases and sentences. Syntax is what determines grammar, or the rules of word order and sentence structure. This is important because these rules and structures help readers and listeners comprehend effectively, efficiently, and accurately. Here are some examples of why understanding syntax is important to comprehension and effective communication skills. Because there are those rules that govern word order in English, this first sentence doesn't make much sense and is not easily understood. But the second sentence, with the exact same words in a different order, one that follows standard English grammar and syntax, does make sense. We can also rearrange the sentence again, and then this time, thanks to punctuation, the sentence can still make sense. The last component of oral language structure is pragmatics. Pragmatics is how language is used in order to communicate, understand, address, and satisfy needs. In other words, pragmatics has to do with the social function of language. This sounds like an advanced literacy skill, but if you think about it, even babies and toddlers understand how to use language of some kind to communicate their needs. This table breaks down the various pragmatics or social functions of language. You can explore more about these on your own. There are a whole coursework you can do. There's a whole field of study on social functions of language, but the main thing to know at this point is that pragmatics is what children learn when they realize that they can get needs met through language. Now, to bring all of this together and look at it chronologically, here's another graphic that shows the timeline of how we acquire and master a first or native language. And this process looks a little bit different when we're talking about learning a second or even third language. Some of the systems we've learned about so far are part of very early oral language development, which are shown on the left-hand side. Early speech, vocabulary starts building and begins to grow, some phonology and phonological awareness develops, and eventually there's some understanding of basic syntax. Next, the child moves into early stages of developing the literacy skills that will lead to reading, and then the key skills that children develop in these stages rely on the foundations built from their oral language development. This expansion of skills continues to grow as literacy development becomes more advanced or adult-like. How might any significant weaknesses or gaps anywhere in this progression affect a child's later literacy development? Now let's review what we covered in this video. We focused on these two big ideas and we went over definitions and examples for the 6 systems of language. Each of those is going to come up again and again. And here again is that graphic organizer for this topic. Now that you know more about these systems of language, you can see.
Okay, so you need now to, what do you need to do? Cesar, what do you need to do,
Yes.
Cesar?
I'm writing about orthographic.
Okay, so you will write about the language system that I allocated to
Yeah.
you. I will give you now
Yeah.
10 minutes. You can take information, arrange the information from this video. You can go to Google. You can Google, for example, you can say, for example, phonology and go to the images only. So images will give you brief idea, okay? Fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you. If you finish before, tell me. I'm here. I'm
Okay.
just with you. Okay?
Okay.
Shaza, are you with us? Shaza.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
with you.
Shaza. I allocated for you syntax. So please take the information from this video for syntax and go Google to take more information. I want from you definition, short explanation, and examples. Examples are extremely important, okay?
Okay.
Okay, dear, I'm waiting for you, so I'm gonna give you 10 minutes only. Hello again. So are you ready? Yes, it seems like you are ready, Intisar. So let's see.
Yes. Orthographic. Orthographic, it means system writing. My voice, I think there is problem in my voice.
Yes, the writing.
A system of writing, linking letters to sounds, or we can say linking phoneme to grapheme. Also, it's referred to the conventional spelling system of a language when something is described as orthographic if pertains to the rules or conventions of writing, including spelling, punctuations, and capitalization. Actually, there's a lot of examples. Let's say some of them, like wake, walk. We can substitute O for A, wake or wake. Or another example, the word color in American English, C-O-L-O-R. But in British English, C-O-L-O-U-R. Both are orthographically correct within their respective versions. Another example, can I say, the letters C in can, or we can say cat.
Okay.
Another example, actually, I wrote a lot of examples.
Okay, tell me all your examples.
On my examples, let's say my examples, spelling. In English, the word color, I mentioned it. There is also the letter C in English can represent different sound like k in cat, because we can say can, but we write it C. But in cat, we write C, but we pronounce it cat, or S sound in scent. Orthography indicates the correct spelling despite various in punctuations. Also, we had the plural of most nouns in format of digits. There are exceptions based on orthography rules, such as children. We cannot add es or s because children is plural. Also, mice, mouse. Also, the word night. The first letter K is silent, but it remains in the word due to the historical orthographic conventions. I think the example is enough.
Yes, they are pretty enough. And in brief, okay, in brief, as a summary, orthography is the writing. Okay. That's everything related to writing, starting from the letters, connecting letters to sounds, how to pronounce, how the pronunciation of the letter different from how to write it. Okay. So we can say it is the opposite of phonology. Okay, phonology is productive also.
Sound pronounced.
But yes. Orthography is writing. Thank you so much, Intisar. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Thank you so much. Now, who's ready? Who's ready? Let's see. Okay, Hawa, go ahead. So you are going to talk about
morphemes.
Yes, morphology, and morpheme is part of morphology. Yes.
Okay, morphology is the study or the structure of the words. So, for example, if you want to look at the grammars of the word, what is the word consist of? We call it morphology. The smallest unit the smallest unit of meaning of the language is called morphemes. Morphemes, it consists of two kinds. The first one is a free morphemes, which means the smallest part of the word that it stands alone, like we call it the root words. We cannot make it smallest. For example, if we are talking about the word cat, we cannot make it smaller than this. This is the root of the word. or for example, the word happy. But the other kind is called the bond morphemes. Bond morphemes is when we add suffixes or prefixes. For example, the word happy, if we put unhappy, we change the word of it, it becomes a bond morphemes. For example, run, for example, this bond morphemes consist of 3 morphemes. That means if we add suffixes or prefixes, we call it, this one is derivation. For example, if we have the word happy and happy, play, fire. So happy, we change the meaning of the word by adding prefixes or suffixes. Play, it becomes, for example, as a noun, we put it ER, we change it into player, so we change from a verb into noun. It is called derivation. For example, the second part of the bond from I can't pronounce it well. Phonemes, yes. If when we have 2 words, combine words together, like the word house, this is a free phonemes. We put house and boat together, it becomes another meaning, it's houseboat. Houseboat, for example, this is the combined bond phonemes. The other compound, sorry, the other kind of the bond phonemes, it's called clipping. Is shortening a word. Like, for example, a telephone, it becomes a phone. A refrigerator, it becomes a fridge. These are clipping the word. This is also, we can change the word. And the last one, this is why conversation. We don't add anything. Just only when we pronounce the word, we change the meaning of it, like the word run as a verb and run as a noun. Sorry. Yes, run is a verb, it becomes run as a noun, as for example, green, adjectives, also green is a noun. That's it about it. And this phoneme is very important because we know how to teach the student reading, writing, and the structure of the word. That's it. This kind of system, language system, is really very important.
Yes, excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. So in brief, let me just summarize what you have said. Okay, morphology, okay, talking about the meaning of words, okay? When we talk about giving meaning to words, we say morphology. This is the general concept. Now we have 2. Number 1, or orthography, writing, something related to that, specifications of writing. Now 1. 2, morphology, it's related to the meaning of words, okay, or the meaning in general. So, as Hawa said, for example, let's say we have a word happy. So this word has full meaning, okay? So we call it morpheme, which is part of the morphology, okay? But we have another thing like or ed or ing. So we call these things affixes, okay? So they don't have any meaning when they come alone. When say ing, okay, what do we mean by ing? Nothing. But when we add it, okay, for example, to a word such as play, as she gave an example, play, okay, it is, let's say, a verb, okay, to play is a verb, okay? When we add ing, playing, so it has the adjective form, yes, okay, or the third form of, not the third form, sorry, the participle form, okay? Fine, so, or a gerund, okay? This is like a gerund. So as they gave an example, as you gave an example, happy and unhappy. So it gives the opposite meaning. Okay, it changes the meaning, the whole meaning of the word. They give also another example like thesis and hypothesis. Okay, like thesis is a word. It has a meaning of thesis. Okay, like a study or something. Hypothesis, something else. We put the prefix hypo. Okay, so here we are talking about the meaning of the English words. Okay, now who is next? Who's next? Iman or Ayat? Who's ready?
Okay.
Okay, Iman, go ahead. So you are going to talk about phonology. Yes, talk about phonology.
Phonology, it is one of the important language systems. It is sounds of speech and how the sounds that are used to express in the language. And it is one of what should we learn. It is one of the early oral language. It help us to sorry, I couldn't write everything, so I'm
no, you don't have to write. Just give us definition, some explanation, and example.
It's how the speech sounds change depending on their position in syllables and words. For example, some the same letter have different sounds. For example, the letter C, when we write it in plural form, dogs and cats. For cats, it ends like S sounds, and dogs, it ends like.
It's not C, please. Sorry, Iman. It's not C, the S. Okay.
S, okay.
Yes, you cannot say C. C, it is something else. Okay. So the C, the sa, we call it sa sound. Sa sound. Yes.
Dogs, it ends like Z. It is also intention stress, how to pronunciation stress and sounds. For examples, the same words when it come as a noun form, we should make a stress syllable on the first syllable. For example, the word present. When it come as a noun, we should present. And when it come as a verb, we should stress on the second syllable, present. Also, we should now sequence of phonemes. For example, P and K letters, they cannot come together. And it is for the stress syllables. The stress syllable always when it come in nouns, adjectives, and adverbs, it should be on the first syllable. In addition, when it come in with the verbs, we should stress the second syllable. Also, what should we say? That is, in brief, it is related to sounds, how to articulate the words correctly.
Okay, excellent. So why I gave you Iman phonology? Because I don't want you to say the. It is the, this, that.
Okay.
So please stop saying this and that, okay? So this is very important. Say that. Okay, thank you so much, Iman. It was really, really very nice, and I love it. You gave examples. You gave the meaning of stress. Where is the stress? When we use it in the verb form, in the noun form. Excellent. Thank you so much. So in brief, so I will give now the summary of what Iman has said already. Speaking, phonology, it's the speaking, okay? It's not the same, but I just want to make it close to the meaning of the real meaning, to make it easier to you, to simplify it. So when we talk about spelling, pronunciation, intonation, stress, okay, for example, loud sound, low sound, high sound, the high voice, the things, everything related to that speaking, it is phonology. And when we talk about vowels, consonants, when we say, as she said, excellent examples about the letters S, okay? In phonology, look, you need to put this on your mind. When we talk about letters, A, B, C, D, this is not phonology, okay? Phonology, when we say this A, this is phonology. The C, we don't say C, we say sa or ka or cha, okay? For example, sometimes we call it the C for cat, okay? We say this is ka. In phonology, we don't say C. Please, attention, okay? In phonology, we say, in this word, what do we call it? We call it ka, as in cat.
The sound of the letter.
Yes, excellent. We call it, for example, a cha, like in chart, okay? We call it sap, like in what? Like in cinnamon, maybe cinnamon, okay, or cinnamon, okay. This is the brand name cinnamon, and the spices cinnamon, okay. Here we call it sap. So as Hawa said, this is the sound of the letter. So in phonology, we don't say A, B, C, D. We say A, B. We have long A, we have short A. Okay, for example, when we say, for example, let's say, for example, in the word, the letter E, sometimes it is
silent.
Yeah, silent. But in English, in phonology, we call it schwa. Schwa. I don't know why they call it schwa, but we call it schwa. When it is silent, the letter E, when it is silent, we call it schwa. Okay. For example, like in words like home, H-O-M-E. So here E we call it schwa, means it doesn't have any sound, so it is silent. Okay. So this is the science of phonology.
Can
Okay?
I say, teacher? Can
Yes.
I say phonology is a small sound of meaning? Small sounds.
Okay, wait. Take meaning aside. It is sound. Sound
Yeah.
of the letter.
Small sound of letter.
Not small. We can make it big. For example, like A. We have long the big Okay? We have short like
yes.
apple, like this. Okay? Mad, sad. This is long. We call it in the phonology long Okay? But
Okay.
in words like what is it? Sample. Not like mad, sad, fat. Okay? This is, for example, the I. We don't call it I. We call it E. So we have long E, we have short E. For example, long E like clean, clear. So it is not I. The sound is, it is EA, but here it is long E, clear. Okay? But with short E, we say pick up. Okay? So short E. This is the phonology world. And actually in the university, phonology, generally speaking, is very hard for linguistics. Wallahi, it's really very hard. And because it's not only the sound, we study, like we call something intonation. Intonation means that when you say a sentence, so at the beginning of the sentence, your voice should be lower or higher than the end of the sentence. So something really very complicated. Now let's say the easy thing. So phonology is the system.
It's also related to rising intonation. It changed the meaning,
yes.
especially British.
Yeah, I remember it was one of the hardest things I've ever met. So intonation is something.
Tomijian give you, Miss Banan?
Sorry?
Mr. Tomijian. Tomijian?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Okay. So here is phonology. Okay. So next, syntax. Syntax. Shaza, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes, Shaza, go ahead.
Yes, first, the definition of syntax is the branch of linguistics that focus in arranging words and phrases to create well-formed sentence in a language. In English, the basic structure is subject, verb, object. Okay, I will explain the syntax. The syntax is basically about what word comes before and after another word. In other words, it's part of the large subject of grammar. Syntax is often an issue in poetry, and it's usually discussed in connection with diction, that is the poet's choice of words. So, for example, your English professor may point out that syntax different between whose words these are. I think I know, and I think I know whose words these are. Whereas if the discussion was about diction instead, the question might be about the choice of woods rather than land, or think rather than pet. And I will give you another example. We have a incorrect sentence. Running, is he fast very? Well, and we can say he is running very fast. And another example, store, I too went the. Well, we can say I went to the store.
Okay. So
that's it.
That's it. Thank you so much, Shaza. It was really very nice. So in brief, syntax is grammar. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the details of grammar, the arrangement of the sentence, what to use, where to use it, and how to use it, how to use each part of the sentence. For example, as you gave an example, actually, I don't remember the words, but let's say working together in the office. So you don't understand anything. But when we arrange it in the correct way, we say, let's work together in the office. So this is meaningful. So the arrangement of the sentence is the syntax. We call it structure, okay? And why we don't say grammar, okay, directly, because it's not only grammar, it's the whole language system of structuring the language system. So it's not only about grammar, okay? Now, regarding semantics, okay, semantics means the relationship of the words together. For example, when we say, I go to bed at 11 o'clock p.m. At, I say at, I don't say in, okay? So here, the relationship between the words inside the sentence, okay? How to put, it's somehow like, look, morphology is talking about the word itself, but syntax means that not the arrangement, putting the correct word in the correct position. In brief, okay? Putting the correct word in the correct position. Okay, so let's have some practice, more practice about this. Okay, here I'm showing you the language systems and the language skills. So I guess we are going to take the language skills next week. Why next week? Because tomorrow we will be having the first live class. I will explain it at the end of today's class, no worries. But tomorrow you will give a class to real students, okay? So, but I will simplify things. Let this surprise till the end. Okay, so here let's focus on language systems. Language is a system of structures. Language is a linguistic system made up of various systems. Okay, we have 6, but why we put 3? Because those 3 are the most important parts. Okay, we can't, because now our job now in TEFL is not to study language systems. We have to take an idea in order to give a class, to be a teacher, to give a class. So if we want to study language systems, we will need a month. Okay, so I took the 3 most important things related to language systems, which are the system of sounds, which is, what is the system of sounds?
The system of sound phonology.
Phonology.
Morphology.
No. Phonology, wait. Wait. The system of grammar.
Syntax.
Syntax, excellent. And the system of words, which is?
Phonemes. Phonology.
Morphology. Yes. Now here, let's talk about more about this. Now you match phonology, lexies, okay. Lexies means vocabulary, grammar, which is syntax, and morphology means the meaning of words, okay. So please match. For example, language, rules, and structure, it's related to grammar, okay. Single, multi-words, it's related to blah, blah, blah. So phonology, lexies. Why we say lexies? Because we are teachers, okay? We don't say words or vocabulary like normal people, okay? So this is our special language. Grammar, morphology means everything related to meaning, okay? So go ahead, match.
Single multi-words match to lexies.
Sorry?
Grammar.
No, lexies, I think. Because
at the end, I will give you,
wait,
at the end, I will give you the correct answer, okay?
Okay.
So, are you ready? Ready?
Okay.
Okay, it's not a secret. When you're ready, just tell me. Okay, so let's start with Hawa. Hawa, I told you language rules of structure is the grammar. So what about single multi-words?
These are, I think, they are morphology. Or
Morphology.
grammar. It has to do with phonemes, or it has to do with the grammar itself. Yani, like plural, singular, or just the word like compound words. If it's compound words, I think it's morphology.
Let's see. Next, Intisar, classification of language phonemes.
Language. Maybe it's related to phonology.
Maybe, we will see.
Maybe.
Phrases, phrases.
Phrases of lex.
Phrases, lexes.
Lexes, okay, lexes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Intisar. Iman, what about the use of language?
The grammar.
Use of
Language.
use of language.
Yes. So it's
Grammar, right?
Grammar. I don't know. We will see.
Iman.
Okay. Hi, Ayat. Are you awake?
Yeah, I'm here.
So why don't we don't hear your voice today?
Yeah. Well, I'm a little bit confused.
So what about sound and syllable structure?
This is phonology.
Okay, let's see. Hi, Shaza.
Hello.
Idioms.
Subs, idioms.
Subject verb agreement first. Grammar.
Well, I'm not sure, but maybe it's morphology.
We will see. What about meaning? Yes, Hawa, meaning?
Meaning, this has to do meaning, yeah, idioms, lexes, meaning, all the lexes, I'm not sure.
Morphology.
Yes, Amtisar, good girl. Yes, meaning, I told you, morphology, meaning. Okay. Yes. Okay, so what about Iman? Tell us, what about stress intonation?
Phonology.
Phonology, yes. Collocation, yes, yeah, Shaza. What about collocation?
Oh, this one's hard.
Lexes.
Lexes.
Yeah, it could be, yeah. Lexes.
Okay. Ayat, what about accent?
I think, I'm not sure. Phonology.
Phonology.
Okay, and the last one, Hawa, sentence and word analysis to give meaning.
Morphology.
Okay, so let's see. Now, language rules, grammar, single, multi-words, lexes, classification of language, of course, phonemes means phonology, phrases means lexes. Lexes, the same of semantics, when we say semantics, but here we simplify things. Also, pragmatics, I told you at the beginning, use or pragmatics, this is related to morphology. Sound, syllable, structure, phonology, subject verb agreement, grammar, idioms, lexes, meaning, morphology, stress intonation, phonology, collocation, anything related to words, it is lexes, okay? Accent, phonology, and sentence words analysis, it is...
accent, phonology.
Yes, of course, the accent.
Of course, it's phonology.
Yes. Because, for example, in Britain, they say they don't, for example, pronounce the letter R at the end of the word. Letter, water, like this. Okay, so this is related to the phonology. Okay, next. Now welcome Goldilocks again. Yeah. Okay, so what I want from you is to create a sentence. Now from today on, look, let me just, okay. Here you are with Banan to teach you how to be a lazy teacher, okay? Under the slogan, work smart, don't work hard, okay? So You give input, okay, for about maximum 20%. As I gave week 1, week 2, and part of week 3. But after that, let your students work. So how to be a lazy teacher? Ta-da, this is exclusive for me, okay? Don't work hard, work smart, okay? Make a lot of preparation at home, okay? And let your students work. So that's what you are going to notice from today till the last day of TEFL. The students will work, you will work, okay? And you need to be like me to prepare your students to work hard. Why? Okay, because you need to learn how to be a lazy teacher, but at the same time, when you practice as a student, when you make your students practice, they will get the ultimate benefit. Okay? Okay, so here we have Goldilocks again. Create a sentence, please. يا انتصار Aya,
Yes.
Shaza, Hawa, Iman, get ready. Look at each picture and
Okay.
create a sentence in order to make a story. Go ahead.
Okay.
So, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, Antisar, tell me the first sentence. What happened?
The first sentence is Goldilocks wants to eat all the dishes after smiling it.
Yes, thank you so much. Hawa, the second picture?
After entering the house, she tries 3 bowls of porridge.
Yes, excellent. Yes, Iman, the third picture. Iman? Where is Iman? Okay, no problem. Shazal?
Well, she was trying all chairs in the house, and she sat in one chair.
Yes, she tried to sit on one chair and she broke it actually. Yes,
Yeah.
4 Ayat, picture number 4.
After she had her lunch, she took a nap.
Yes, excellent. Iman, picture number 5.
The 3 bears come to their home. They are astonished because they didn't find their food.
Yes, so were they happy or angry?
Angry.
Angry, yes. So yes, Antisar, give me the last sentence.
The last sentence, her Goldilocks escapes, or we can say run away from bears after she's eating all
Yes, she ran away. Yes, excellent. So here, analyze language systems in your sentences. So when we said, let's start with you, Antisar, when you said she got into the house and she found food. So here, where is the phonology? Analyze your sentence.
When we articulate the sounds of the words.
Yes, excellent. Let's take an example. She found food. Okay, she found food. Okay,
Yes.
this is very simple sentence. So Intisar, start.
Yes.
She found food.
Yes.
How to analyze the phonology here?
She found the food. She found.
I will start to make it easy to you. She. The sound SH became sha. She. This is phonology. Okay, found.
Found. Found, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Found.
Found.
Actually,
So the
phonology
O
is a
make
little
the
difficult.
sound ow. Okay, she found.
Yeah.
Fa, ow, and D.
Yeah.
Auna,
Yeah.
da. Okay, ow,
Yeah.
O-U. So this combination make the sound ow. Okay?
Yeah, the food letter O, when the letter O comes beside other, we can say ooh, food.
Yes,
food.
excellent. The sound O-O, when we have O-O, so the sound will be
Because
oo.
you know why? Because my teacher is excellent one. Therefore, I want to imitate you.
Also, maybe let's say, for example, instead of food, we said porridge. Porridge. Okay,
porridge,
so
yeah.
the sound of say
P,
analyze it.
Porridge. H, we can say sha, she found out the porridge. Porridge.
Excellent. Okay, so let's take Hawa, the second sentence, and talk about lexies. Okay, when we say she tried porridge, she tried. If we want to make it correct, let's say she tried some porridge. She tried some porridge. How did you use the lexies? Hawa.
Yes, I'm sorry. If you try something as a food, I think this is like a collocation, like Mr. Rainy, heavy rain, tried a food. This is collocation. This has to do with Lexis. And what other things? What she said, she tried something. That's it.
Yeah, it is not
it has
that
to do with the meaning of the word.
She tried food. It is, يعني, better to say she tried some food. So using of some here.
Here is grammar. It's not grammar here. It's grammar.
No, the use of the word, because grammatically we can use few, we can use little. Grammatically the meaning is correct, okay, but some here, the use of lexis itself use food. Some, this is, as you said, this is collocation also, okay. Okay, thank you so much, Hawa. Next, the grammar, let's take Iman. Iman, she sat on the chair. She sat on the chair. So let's talk about the grammar here.
We correspond between the subjects. After that, we put the verb.
Verb. In which form?
Past.
Yes, excellent. In the simple past. Okay, I will ask a question, not only for Iman. Why we used simple past here? Why?
Because it is a story.
Yes, narrating the story.
Yes, excellent. Because it's a story, and specifically, it's a fairy tale story. Okay, it's a fairy, especially in fairy tales, we use simple past tense. Okay, because this is very ancient stories. Excellent, excellent, Iman. So she sat on, we say on, because it is, we use this. This is, we cannot say in, on, like this, the chair. Yes, excellent. We will talk about morphology with whom? Ayat. Let's talk to you, with you about morphology. Let's say. Okay.
I said after she had her food, she took a nap.
So let's use something more complicated to clarify.
To break the words, yes.
Yes. So okay, let's say after she had the food, she. No, it's not correct.
Cannot be word morphology because it has to do with every free phoneme. Every word here free phoneme, because it's, for example, had, we cannot add anything to it. Take a nap.
When we say run away, so this gives meaning. It's she doesn't only run away. So this gives us the meaning of that she was so
run away.
Fast. Yes, she ran away, so she was so fast. Because when you are running, it's different than running away. Because running, maybe you are running as a sport, okay? But when you run away, so you are
escaping something.
Yes, you want to escape. Yes, to maybe survive. Okay, so this is how do we analyze the language system. So there's a question: if you were Shakespeare, are you going to use the same language system of today? Never, of course.
It's complicated.
Because, yes, excellent. Why? Because language is improved, okay? Language, and you know, I know you know this information. There is many languages which is not survived now. We don't use any. Nobody.
And it's difficult to be as Shakespeare.
Yes. So, for example, like chest, in the old, they call it chamber of heart. For example, instead of saying you, they used to say thou. Instead of saying what? A lot of words. It's totally different. So when you read it, you will never understand anything. Okay. So in brief, language systems, not all, okay, but we will talk about this only in this situation. Now, we will go to something new, ways of teaching, okay? New topic. So, we have 3 kinds of ways of teaching. We have a lot, okay? We have a lot. But here we are going to talk, okay, we are going to talk about 3 types of teaching. Okay, we have more than this, not only this, we have more. Okay, but today we will talk about these, and I know I will make it easy and light. Okay, so for example, we have PPP, we have TTT, and we have TBL. Have you heard about any of those?
I think PPP past perfect preparation.
No.
No.
No. Okay. It's like how to build up your lesson plan. Okay. So have you heard about this? Okay. Let's see. PPP. Now this is especially when you teach, because now we talked about the six kinds of language systems. Okay, 6. After that, we concentrated now on 4. Now we will concentrate on 2, because those 2 are the most important, repetitive. So it's repeated, it's repetitive. Okay, that's why I'm concentrating now on only 2, how to teach vocabulary and how to teach grammar. Okay, so today and now and in TEFL, we talked about 6, we concentrated on 4, but now we will practice teaching two kinds of language systems. Okay, so kinds of teaching ways or methodologies, we have PPP, TTT, TBL. PPP means present, practice, produce. Why I do like this produce? Because the students will produce to me. Now I am teacher. Please concentrate on this. Please, please, please. Okay, concentrate. We have PPP. Present. The teacher will present. Practice. Practice. Teacher with the students. We practice together. Okay. 3, produce. Students will produce to you. Again, PPP. Present, practice, produce. Teacher. Together, students. Teacher will present. Teacher and the students will practice together. The students will produce the information. Okay, let's see. Now I'm going to give, now I am a teacher, I will practice now PPP, okay? So now I am a teacher. I will give you vocabulary class. Fine, I will give you vocabulary class. Okay, so I will present, after that, because you are my students. So we will together practice and then you will produce. Now, what is this? This is porridge. This is porridge. What is this? This is a bear. This is a bear. What is this? This is a girl. This is a girl. So this is a present. How I present, I show you picture. Okay? This is a presentation and I pronounce. How I give the meaning here, I wrote meaning by showing picture. Because it is concrete word. It is not abstract word. Please, when you teach children, when you teach beginners and the children, use concrete words. Don't use abstract words. Concrete words means that they can smell or listen to, or hear, I mean to hear, or see. This is concrete, okay? But abstract, like motherhood, love, friendship. Don't teach this to beginners and the children, okay? When you have beginners, A1 especially level, don't teach abstract. Teach concrete, something they can see, they can hear, they can taste, they can touch, like this. So I give you the meaning by showing the picture. Now you know the meaning without explanation. You know, you can see this is porridge. So here I am presenting. Now let's practice together. Okay, now this is a practice again. Now when I say, this is porridge, repeat after me. This is porridge. This is porridge.
This is porridge.
Okay, just give me a moment.
I'm tired. I want to stop.
Me too.
Yes, because I'm coming from Iraq yesterday, so I want to eat. I want to sleep.
Okay, so please repeat after me. This, now we are making practice. That's why I choose only 3 vocabulary, just to give as a demo. This is porridge.
This is porridge.
Now, this is a bear. This is a bear.
This is a bear.
Okay. Okay. I will tell you why I am doing with you like this. I did not tell you. Okay, I will tell you. This is a girl.
This is a girl.
Okay. Now, I will ask. Ayat, what's this?
This is a porridge.
Okay, this is porridge, yes. Okay. Shazam, what's this?
This is a bear.
Okay. Iman, what's this?
This is a girl.
Okay, excellent. Now I teach, suppose that you are beginners. I am teaching you how to say full sentence. Please, if any one of your students say, if you ask, what's this? And the students say, girl, don't accept. This is not girl, only girl. He has to answer full sentence, even if the students are beginners. Okay? Oh my God, are you tired?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh my
I'm
God.
tired.
I feel
so
that
much.
you are out of connection.
I mean, we're
Teacher,
trying, but
Can I leave? I'm so sorry because I'm coming yesterday from Iraq. So I'm now
Okay,
I'm
no
very tired.
problem. We will wrap up. I will wrap up. Now the end. Okay. I will explain if I want to tell you something on the WhatsApp group. But now, PPP, present. Now we were practicing, and after that, when you tell me this is a girl, this is production. You make a production. This is how I am teaching beginners. Okay, this is for beginners. Fine. Now here, please don't let your students say words. Let them say sentences with a and an. Why? Because you are a lazy teacher like me, and you don't want to allocate a special class for teaching a and an. No, you can make it by spoken language inside the classroom. This will make your life easy. Okay? So we will explain this more tomorrow. If you are tired, let's wrap up. And do you have any questions?
Thank you for everything, teacher.
Okay, if you want to stay, I will stay. No problem.
No,
But
no.
I feel
I'm
that you're
going.
tired. Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm tired.
Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. I will send something to you on the WhatsApp group. Okay?
Thank you, teacher.
you
Bye-bye.
speak
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.